Hi, this is Grania from All Aboard Therapy Services. I hope you've been able to enjoy and get something from the videos that I've been sharing about the different stories, books, and resources that I use as part of play therapy. I also just want to keep on the theme of child protection and child safety. And there's another book here. You'll hear me in my other videos talking about secrets and the language that is useful around secrets, good secrets, bad secrets, not using the word secrets, and talking to children about that. So, this story is another one that I find very useful. So, it's some secrets should never be kept. And isn't that a really important lesson for kids? So, it's by Janine Sanders, and it's about protecting children from unsafe touch by teaching them to always speak up. This particular book I wouldn't really use with children in general who have no experience of abuse, because it does kind of explicitly talk about an adult inappropriately touching a child. So even though it's written in, a childlike, age appropriate way, it might be a little bit frightening for children with no experience of this at all. But for children who unfortunately have a history of childhood sexual abuse, or where there may be a suspicion of childhood sexual abuse, these kind of stories can be very useful for opening up discussions in therapy. So in this book, it's about a little boy called Sir Alfred, and Sir Alfred has a terrible secret. And unfortunately, the story does tell about how Sir Alfred, his trust gets taken advantage of by an adult who is in a position of power, as often happens in abuse. And the adult tells him to keep inappropriate touching and sexual abuse a secret. And this is a feature that we're very aware of all across people who have experienced sexual abuse. So this book, it kind of talks about trust. It talks about appropriate touch, inappropriate touch, and it talks about the child's journey to actually disclosing about the abuse that has happened, and that at the end there is some sort of sense of resolution, and that he is believed, which is really important, because unfortunately not all children or teenagers or adults who disclose about abuse are actually believed. um it's very important to believe and validate any person who discloses about abuse, because it's been extremely difficult for them to even disclose that. um the statistics show that people who make up abuse or make up false allegations about abuse, it's very, very, very low. So it really is appropriate to believe somebody if they disclose about some abuse, and particularly a child. A child does not make up, in my professional and personal experience, a child does not make up allegations about sexual abuse. Something is going on there. Even if a child did make up something, why would they do that? It needs to be investigated. A happy, healthy child in a safe home does not feel the need to do that. So this is a book that I think can be very useful, probably more for therapists and professionals than teachers or parents themselves. It's just because it is that little bit more detailed and graphic, and it does refer to inappropriate touch, and it kind of alludes to sexual abuse. But it is a book that I have found very useful in play therapy.